You walk over, and instantly you feel it. That nagging fear that she's sizing you up as just another old man trying his luck. That fear is deadly. It makes you talk too fast, try too hard, and act like someone you're not. And once she senses that, it's over. The opportunity is gone, and all you're left with is frustration. But what most men don't realize is this. She's not rejecting your age. She's responding to the way you carry it. That's the game changer. And here's the secret. Once you know what's actually happening in her mind, everything changes. In this video, I'm giving you what a young woman really thinks when you approach her as an older man, and how to make those thoughts work in your favor. Before I dive into the real psychology behind her reactions, I want you to do something quick. Hit subscribe, give this video a like, and let me know in the comments with a simple yes or no. Have you ever held back from approaching because of your age? Don't overthink it. Just type it in. Because what I'm about to reveal next will make you realize it's not the years on your clock that matter. It's something much deeper. Let's break it down, starting with the first thing she notices instantly. Number 1. Age is not the problem. Energy is the key. The first thing a woman notices when you approach her as an older man isn't the number of candles on your last birthday cake. It's how you carry yourself. Yes, she sees the age difference immediately. She's not blind. But the moment that realization hits, her mind shifts to something far more important. What is the energy this man is radiating right now? Human psychology works like this. Before we process details, we scan for signals. Confidence, composure, and control speak louder than a wrinkle or a gray hair ever could. If your walk is steady, if your shoulders are relaxed yet strong, if your voice is calm without being timid, she registers that before she calculates the age gap. Your presence either commands attention or it blends into the background. Imagine two men approaching the same woman. One is 50, nervous, shoulders hunched, speaking too quickly, apologizing for existing. The other is 55, standing tall, voice slow, eyes steady. Which man do you think she sees as older? It's never about the number. It's about the vibration he brings into the space. Here's the brutal truth most men miss. Your energy either elevates your age or it exposes your insecurity. Women are not attracted to a birth certificate. They're drawn to a man whose presence makes them feel grounded, safe, and intrigued. That is why some men in their 40s or 50s get treated like kings, while others in the same age bracket get dismissed like background noise. If you want her to look at you differently, focus less on hiding your years and more on mastering your frame. Walk like you own the space. Speak like you're never in a rush. Hold eye contact without flinching. This is what makes your age irrelevant, even magnetic. Because in her eyes, the real question isn't how old is he, but why does he feel so powerful compared to everyone else? Number 2. Never project insecurity because she will mirror it right back at you. Here's a hard truth. Women are emotional mirrors. They reflect the energy you bring into the interaction. If you treat your age as a weakness, she will instantly adopt the same frame. She'll see the lines on your face not as character, but as evidence you don't belong in her world. Not because she truly thinks so, but because you handed her that interpretation. Think about how many men sabotage themselves before a woman even opens her mouth. They joke nervously about being too old for her. They apologize for the gray in their beard. They try to overcompensate with corny lines about keeping up with the young crowd. All of this screams one thing. I'm insecure, and I need you to validate me. And the moment you ask for validation, you've already lost her respect. Flip the frame and everything changes. If you treat your age as proof of strength, of lived experience, of earned wisdom, she feels it. If you see it as an advantage, she'll start to see it the same way. The difference is not in her judgment, it's in your self-perception. Psychology is clear on this. Confidence is contagious, and insecurity is just as contagious. Which one are you spreading when you open your mouth? Picture this. A 48-year-old man enters a room full of younger women. He cracks self-deprecating jokes, hoping to look relatable. They laugh politely, but inside, they've already labeled him as trying too hard. Now picture another man, same age, walking in with zero apology. He doesn't try to act 25. He simply commands the room with his calm focus and grounded presence. Guess which man triggers curiosity? This is the edge you have to sharpen. Stop giving women a reason to doubt you. Don't mention your age like it's a handicap. Don't chase validation. Instead, own the years you've lived. Carry yourself as if your timeline is a trophy, not a liability. When you do, her mind won't fixate on the number. It will lock onto the energy you project, and that's the difference between being seen as an old guy and being seen as the man every younger man secretly envies. Number 3. Maturity and certainty are what younger men rarely offer. Women don't lie awake at night worrying that a man might be older. They worry about immaturity. They fear wasting time with someone who doesn't know what he wants, who plays games, who lacks emotional control. Immaturity is exhausting, and it's the one thing that can drain her attraction faster than any age gap. This is where you, as an older man, hold an advantage, if you choose to embody it. You've lived through the storms. You've made mistakes, taken losses, rebuilt yourself. All of that should give you something younger men struggle to fake, a sense of certainty. When you know who you are and where you're going, she feels it immediately. That certainty is magnetic. It tells her she can relax in your presence because you're not a boy testing boundaries. You're a man who already knows his. Now, contrast that with the typical younger guy. He's full of energy, yes, but he often hides behind bravado. He says what he thinks she wants to hear. He avoids clarity because he's afraid of losing her. And that's exactly why she can't fully trust him. A man who cannot lead himself cannot lead her. You don't have to compete with his youth. You win by playing a different game. Show that your time is valuable and your intentions are clear. If you're interested, express it without hesitation. If something bothers you, state it calmly. If you're not impressed, don't fake it just to keep her attention. That level of maturity is rare in today's dating world, and it's exactly what separates a man from a boy in her eyes. Here's the paradox. Women crave excitement, but what keeps them hooked long-term is security. Younger men often deliver the first, but fail miserably at the second. You, however, can give both, because your maturity provides stability, and your confidence makes the experience thrilling. That balance is your hidden weapon. So stop doubting your worth. Stop thinking you need to mimic the immaturity of youth to stay relevant. Instead, lean into maturity. Stand firm in your certainty. That's when she realizes you're not just another man. You're the man she can finally respect. Number 4. Your experience and composure are not liabilities. They're your greatest advantages. Too many older men make the fatal mistake of trying to compete with youth on youth's terms. They dress like teenagers, force themselves into conversations about trends they don't actually care about, and try to mimic the reckless energy of men 20 years younger. Do you know what that communicates? Desperation. It tells her you don't respect your own journey enough to own it. And the second you try to play her game, you've already lost. Here's what women really crave. Depth. They want to feel the weight of a man who has lived, who has stories to tell, who carries himself with the calm authority of someone who has nothing to prove. When you speak from experience instead of insecurity, your words hit differently. They carry substance. A younger man can repeat motivational quotes he found online, but you can talk about what it felt like to fall, rebuild, and rise again. That difference is everything. Psychology shows that people are drawn to authority figures who project calm under pressure. It signals competence. It signals safety. If you've reached a point in life where drama doesn't shake you, where setbacks don't rattle you, she feels it. And that calmness is intoxicating because it allows her to relax into your frame. You're not competing with boys anymore. You're standing in a category they can't enter. Think of it this way. A 25-year-old may take her on a wild roller coaster, but you can offer her the combination of thrill and stability she didn't know she needed. You've got the stories, the perspective, the emotional depth to take her somewhere he simply can't. That's why your age is not a disadvantage. It's the source of your edge. The advice is simple but powerful. Stop chasing trends that don't belong to you. Stop diluting your presence by pretending to be something you're not. Instead, double down on your experience. Share it with confidence. Speak less, but when you speak, let every word remind her you've lived through more than most men she knows. That's when she stops seeing you as older and starts seeing you as rare. Number 5. Your physical discipline can turn age into an undeniable advantage. Let's get one thing straight. Women are visual. They notice how you look, how you move, and the energy your body language gives off. But don't confuse this with needing a flawless physique. What matters isn't perfection. It's proof of discipline. A man who clearly takes care of himself signals strength, reliability, and control. And those signals hit harder than youth ever could. Think about it. A younger man might have the natural advantage of a faster metabolism, but discipline is rare. When a woman sees an older man with a strong posture, deliberate movements, and the kind of presence that only comes from consistent effort, it sets him apart. It tells her you don't let life drag you down. You've stayed committed. That commitment makes her feel you can protect, provide stability, and lead. Psychology backs this up. Studies show that self-control and discipline are two of the most attractive traits because they hint at long-term stability. When you walk into a room looking like you respect your body, it communicates that you respect yourself. And if you respect yourself, she can trust that you'll respect her too. That is far more powerful than having the youngest face in the crowd. Picture two scenarios. One older man lets himself go. Slouched shoulders, sluggish movements, a belly that screams neglect. Another man, the same age, has sharp eyes, controlled breathing, and the quiet strength of someone who hasn't quit on himself. Which one makes her heart race? Which one makes her curious? It's never just about age. It's about whether your body broadcasts vitality or surrender. Here's your takeaway. Discipline doesn't mean you need to look like a fitness model. It means you show up with strength, stamina, and presence. It means you've proven to yourself day after day that you're still in the fight. That is irresistibly attractive. Because when she sees you, she's not thinking, he's old. She's thinking, this man hasn't stopped improving, and that makes him rare. Number 6, hold your frame and let her step into it. Most older men lose the battle not because of age, but because they surrender their frame. They chase too hard, they talk too much, they try to impress with energy that feels forced. And here's the truth. When you chase, you give away power. The moment you abandon your grounded energy, she feels it. Instead of seeing you as the prize, she sees you as another man begging for her attention. Frame is everything in attraction psychology. Your frame is the emotional environment you bring with you. If it's calm, steady, and grounded, she will naturally adapt to it. Humans subconsciously mirror the strongest energy in the room. If you're frantic, she feels superior. If you're composed, she leans in. That's how you make her feel you're different. Not by words, but by the environment you create. Think of the men you've seen lose control. The moment a woman tests them with sarcasm or playful pushback, they get rattled. They try to prove themselves. They talk over her. They fidget. That's a weak frame. Now picture a man who doesn't flinch. He smiles, he lets the silence breathe, he responds when he's ready. That man doesn't just hold his frame, he invites her into it. And that is magnetic. This doesn't mean being cold or dismissive. It means being unshakable. It means you're not chasing her validation because you already validate yourself. You don't need to overreact because your presence speaks louder than noise. She feels safe in that steadiness, and she craves it because most men can't provide it. Here's the action step. Practice grounded responses. Slow down your breathing. Stop rushing to fill silences. When she tests you, don't bite the bait. Hold your frame. Let her adjust to your rhythm. Because the truth is, the man who controls the frame controls the dynamic. And when you master that, age no longer matters. In her eyes, you're not older. You're untouchable. Number 7. Your presence speaks louder than your words. Too many men, especially when nervous, believe they need to fill every second with chatter. They ramble. They tell jokes that don't land. They overshare details she never asked for. They think talking more means connection. But in reality, it has the opposite effect. It exposes nerves, it kills tension, and it makes them look weak. Women read more from your tone, your pacing, and your body language than from the actual words you use. Psychology proves that non-verbal cues carry more weight than verbal ones in attraction. When you slow down, when you let silence breathe, you create gravity. You turn the conversation into something she leans into rather than something she tunes out. Imagine 2 scenarios. In the first, an older man approaches and immediately floods her with small talk, every pause filled with nervous laughter. She feels nothing. In the second, another man approaches, makes eye contact, speaks slowly, and lets silence hang for a beat before delivering his next sentence. She feels drawn in, curious, even slightly nervous herself. That's the power of presence. It flips the dynamic. Mastery is not about showing off or proving how clever you are. It's in the way you order a drink without hesitation, the way you hold eye contact without blinking away, the way you guide her through a crowded room with a light but firm touch. These are small actions, but they speak volumes about your self-possession. They say, I am in control of myself and my environment. The advice here is simple. Talk less, but with more intention. Slow down. Use pauses as a tool, not a weakness. Pay attention to your body language. Stand tall, move deliberately, hold your space. Let her feel the mastery in how you show up. Because the truth is, attraction is less about the words you say and more about the story your presence tells without speaking. Number 8. Stop trying to win her. Make her win you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men enter interactions like salesmen, desperate to close the deal. They brag about achievements, flash their status symbols, or bend over backward to entertain. But the second you put yourself in the position of impressing, you flip the script against yourself. You've told her, I'm trying to qualify for your attention, and that strips away your power. Real men don't audition. They select. They know their value so clearly that they don't feel the need to over-explain it. And women feel this difference immediately. When you stop chasing approval and instead position yourself as the prize, she instinctively works harder to earn you. It's human psychology. What we work for, we value more. What comes too easily, we dismiss. Picture the contrast. A man sits across from her, listing his accomplishments like a resume. She nods politely, but inside she's bored. Another man listens calmly, asks her meaningful questions, and makes her qualify herself. What do you value most in a relationship? What kind of challenges have shaped you? Suddenly she's doing the talking. She's the one trying to impress him, and when she leaves, she's thinking, I hope I was good enough for him. That's the shift. The key is subtlety. This isn't about arrogance or playing games. It's about living from a position of certainty. You're not out to prove yourself because you already know your worth. You're not desperate for her validation because you validate yourself. And when you hold that standard, she feels compelled to rise to it. So here's your call to action. Stop performing. Start selecting. Instead of asking, how can I impress her? Ask, is she good enough to stand beside me? When you flip that question, everything changes. She no longer sees you as an older man chasing approval. She sees you as the rare man who doesn't bend for anyone, and that's the man she wants to chase. So let's bring this full circle. When you approach a woman as an older man, she notices your age in the first second. But what defines the rest of that interaction isn't the number. It's your energy, your confidence, your frame, your mastery. Across these 8 truths, the message is clear. Age is not a barrier. Age is the disguise that reveals whether you've grown into a man or collapsed into excuses. If you project insecurity, she'll mirror it. If you embrace your maturity, she'll respect it. If you drown her in nervous chatter, she'll drift away. But if you slow down, stand tall, and let silence work for you, she'll lean closer. If you chase her, you'll lose. But if you hold your frame and let her step into it, she'll fight for your attention. This is not about tricks or gimmicks. It's about reclaiming the qualities younger men can't fake. Certainty, discipline, composure, and depth. Here's the truth. She isn't afraid of your age. She's afraid of your surrender. She's afraid you'll show up like a man who has given up on himself, physically, mentally, and emotionally. That is the true turn-off. But when you show her that you are still sharpening, still standing, still leading, her mind flips. She doesn't see you as older. She sees you as the man who finally understands what she's been waiting for. So if you've ever worried about being dismissed as just some old guy, remember this. The problem isn't your years. It's how you use them. Own your frame. Master your presence. Make her qualify for your attention. Do that, and suddenly, age isn't just neutral. It's your biggest advantage. And if this message hit you, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit subscribe, like this video, and share it with another man who needs to hear the truth. Drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway, because this channel is more than advice. It's a movement. A place where men reclaim their strength, their value, and their control. If you're ready to stop being overlooked and start being respected, join us. The journey starts now.